Well, hello, hello, Young and the Restless Daily Recap fans. Today's daily recap is for Thursday, May the 18th, 2023. Thursday, May the 18th. Well, this whole week has kind of moved very slow to me. Okay. Only thing to move fast is Jack and Kyle telling everybody. Now that moved real fast, right? And then everybody else telling everybody else. Anyway. Okay. Jack and Christine are talking into her second office. They're talking at her second office society because normally they're talking at her first office, Crimson Lights. I don't get it, but that's where they talk, right? Talking about the case, Christine needs more proof because all the evidence is pointing to Diane, even though she feels it could be plausible. It's Phyllis. But she's like, I need more. I need evidence. See, it's like they have the manufactured evidence against Diane, but they don't have any evidence pointing that Phyllis is alive. So she tasked Chance with that task. Detective, built me a case, right? So Abby and Devon are talking. Abby's still weary about Tucker's motives. Tucker went to not Devon, Dom's music class. Toddler banging on stuff, music class. And Tucker's so cute, showing Ashley the video, and he is just smiling, just beaming from ear to ear. Now, mind you, that's Ashley's grandson too. She was smiling, but she was thinking, didn't that give you a headache? And he's like, I loved it. And he goes, I stayed the whole time. She's like, really? Because Ashley's like, look, I love my grandchild, but that ain't me, right? We don't even know if Ashley's the type of grandmother that wants to be called Grandma Ashley or Grandma, a grandmother. I don't know what Ashley wants to be called. Ashley might be the kind of grandmother that wants to be called Ashley. Who knows? Look, I don't know. But Tucker seems like the kind of grandfather that wants to be called grandpa. Don't you agree? I just see Tucker being called grandpa, and that just beaming him from ear to ear. Well, we've got Mariah and Tessa. They're going on their first date night out since they, got the baby. And they were weary, didn't want to go, didn't want to leave him with the baby with Sharon, because anything could happen. Now, mind you, Sharon raised one of her babies from babyhood. Isn't that interesting? Cassie, they didn't meet Cassie till she was what, 6? Maybe 7? Raised Noah, only one. Because Faith, for that first year, pretty much, Faith was Ashley's baby. Adam had given Faith to Ashley, and it was almost a year Ashley raised that baby as her own. So this is Sharon's first baby taken care of since Noah. Wow. But please, she's confident. We know what to do. And so she convinces them to leave. But what was so interesting to me, this is the first time I'm going to watch my grandchild. Would I have them bring the baby to work? Sharon's at work. This is a public place, Crimson Lights. Sharon has a huge house on the ranch. Why was Sharon not off? And as a matter of fact, Mariah and Tessa live on the ranch too. Sharon should have been off because she lives at that coffee house. This should have been a reason for her to be off. They would have just drove across the ranch from their tag house to Sharon's house and dropped off their baby. Oh my goodness. But no, Sharon's like, hey, I'll be running Crimson Light, but bring her on. Bring the baby on out. Okay, so that's how that went. We have, let's see, Devon gets his official name changed. Came in the mail that fast, lickety split. He's now Devon Hamilton Winters. I like that. Because we're so used to hearing the name of the company, Hamilton Winters. So it's Devon Hamilton Winters, and he's proud of it. And there we go. So we have Jack and Kyle. Jack and Kyle is in that hotel room because remember, Michael gave them the address, motel room. Now, this is a motel room that, you know, people go in and out of, in and out of. It's like Kyle says, they probably had a lot of guests checking in and out. And Jack's like, yeah, but housekeeping usually isn't that good on places like this. And I'm thinking, yeah, but is it that bad, Jack? What are you going to be able to find that hasn't been tainted and touched? So Kyle's checking there. He's like, came up with nothing. They did put their little gloves on, but when they came in the room, they didn't have gloves on. Jack just had some little piece of paper or Kleenex opening and closing the door, but then next time we see him, they got gloves on. Jack comes out of the bathroom with, guess what? A Ziploc bag, because he gave Kyle a Ziploc bag, full of long red hair. I'm telling you, had to be the biggest clump of Hannah hair. That's a lie. It wasn't that much. But it was so much so that the housekeeper should have been fired. Seriously. How could that much hair, that long of hair, not hair, hairs, right, be found that Jack could find, and all the other guests checking in and out of that motel room didn't call the front desk and say, hey, wait a minute. I went into the bathroom and I was so scared. I thought it was a rat or something in there with all that hair from not being clean. Oh no, that wouldn't have, but for convenience of soap opera writing, oh, Jack found it. And Kyle said, now let's hope it's Phyllis's. And I thought, how convenient it's going to be Phyllis's. How convenient, right? So sure enough, Jack takes it to the lab, and I think he and Kyle are waiting. They're waiting at this point for, no, actually, I don't think so. It just shows them in the room saying, we got to get this to the lab. And in my mind, when the episode ends, I'm like, now let's think about this. Instead of Michael calling the police, he was a district attorney. He knows about chain of evidence. He knows about a crime scene needs to be untouched. And I'm sorry, if Phyllis was in fact in that room is part of a crime scene. Why Michael takes that to Jack? Someone with a vested interest in getting Diane off. Why would he do that? I don't know. It should have been Chance. Chance would have gone in with the CSI. They would have ran over that room with a fine-tooth comb. All the evidence would have been protected as much as possible because let's face it, people have been renting this room in and out. So I thought, you want to know what I hope? Want to know what I hope? I hope it is Phyllis's. And then you want to know what else I hope? I hope Christine says it's inadmissible to court. And they'll say, but it proves Phyllis's was there. And Christine can say, does it really? See, we're taking your word that that's where that hair was found. Your word. You, the person with a vested interest in getting Diane off, and framing it on Phyllis, who in my mind and recollection and evidence is still dead. So no, Jack. See, why didn't you call the police? Or Michael should have known better. Call the police, giving them the information, because see, then at least we would feel somewhat secure that this is in fact real. But you just bringing it neatly, some of Phyllis's DNA. Oh, and you got some of Summer's DNA. You both are just bringing that. How convenient. How convenient. They could have actually taken some of Nikki's DNA, compared it with Victoria's DNA, said, look, it was Nikki. Here it is. Here's the evidence in this Ziploc. So no, I hope the evidence is inadmissible. And then I hope Jack on his high and mighty horse is telling Chance, because he smugly said, I found irrefutable proof of Diane's innocence. And I have the DNA evidence. If little old me could do it, your job, what could you do? And Chance was just looking on the phone. And it pisses Chance off when he deals with Jack. So if it's thrown out, or if they say we still don't know if that's in fact where you got this evidence from, because Summer certainly wasn't in there. Yeah, you're going to say we got Summers from her room, but see, how do we know that in some of Phyllis's actual property? Because I'm sure the family now has the property, what Phyllis had in that hotel room. Her hair could have been all in that. Her hairbrush was there. Everything was there. Okay. Could be in Summer's possession now. Could have went right on up into wherever Summer's keeping Phyllis's stuff and took all this evidence out. Period. Who knows? Because then Chance could look at Jack and say, it's not like you haven't planted false evidence before. Now, wouldn't that have been a shocker? Because what did he do with Jeremy Stark? They committed a crime, left Stark's evidence, his glasses, right there conveniently at the scene of the crime, and boy, were they proud of themselves, right? So no, Jack is not the trusted person at all, whatsoever. And I hope, see them just stepping over the law, them just doing everything. I'm hoping that it doesn't matter. Because of course, within a matter of hours, yeah, Kyle and Jack are at home. Guess what? DNA test results came in, which is why he called Chance. Oh yeah, it's a match. It's Phyllis. Match Summer's DNA. Yep, match. And I said, no, anything else, DNA testing takes weeks and days, but they were able to get that back within hours. Well, well, well. So let's see where that's gonna go. I hope it doesn't go their way. I really do. I hope it just does not go their way. And then they're gonna learn. Let the police find Phyllis. Let the police find her. So that's it for the daily recap for Thursday, May the 18th. I'll be back with another daily recap of The Young and the Restless.